everyone, I'm Sarah Ellsworth Hoffman. Welcome to this week's edition of a brand new show called The Goldie Show. Our host Goldie firmly believes that everyday people are worth more than gold. Today Goldie's guest is Chido Ezeilo. Chido Ezeilo is not your typical gospel rap artist. Originally from the West African country of Nigeria, he has performed in festivals, conferences, weddings, and church services since moving to the United States almost a decade ago. Currently, he is working on a new EP due for release in spring 2015. And when he isn't busting out his Christocentric rhymes, Chido spends much of his time mentoring younger generations, academically and spiritually. He is affiliated with the Fort Wayne Church of Christ and the Crossing Educational Center as a volunteer math teacher. Now let's join Goldie and her guest Chido Ezeilo.
Hi, welcome to Goldie Show. I have Chido Ezeilo today with me, and he's going to tell us something about himself today. Hi, how are you, Chido?
Good. How you doing, Goldie?
Not bad. Just to know where you're from and what actually made you come to United States, or what was your motivation, the challenges behind it. Could you please tell us that?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Nigeria.
Originally?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the west side of Africa.
Wonderful.
Yes. And I've always wanted to explore the world beyond my country. And figured I'll start with the United States first. So I wanted to get a foreign education. So it was pretty much school that brought me here.
School?
Yes.
And when you say school, what exactly?
Mathematics and computer engineering.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, yes.
And did you finish that then?
I'm almost done with that. I'm just a few classes away from that.
Just a few.
Just a few.
That's good. But at least you're studying, you're doing things, which is good. When you came here, you left your family behind, your brothers, sisters. How many brothers, sisters do you have, by the way?
I just have two younger sisters.
Two younger sisters and your mother and father back home.
But both sisters now live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you first came here,
when
you were by yourself.
It was just me.
And you said you're staying in a housing society of the school dorm and all that. Now,
initially, at least.
Initially. No, you're not married, are you?
No, I'm not.
So you're a bachelor. Hey, you young ladies all out there, he's a bachelor. You should probably go on the bachelorette show. They have. You're blushing a lot. You'll be okay. Trust me. Now you said you're studying engineering?
Yes, mathematics.
Mathematics.
Yes, I'm more inclined towards the math aspect.
But from what research I've done about you, you like music.
I do.
Mathematics. Music.
I know. It's just a wide different ends of the spectrum. Well, I have my dad to thank for the mathematical side of things, because he really spent a lot of time teaching me when I was much younger. So I conquered that fear at a young age. So I just grew up without any kind of fear of math or, that kind of science at all. But I was always more so a liberal arts kind of guy. I was more so into the artsy, the music, and everything.
So where the music came from? I mean, mathematics and music is some kind of a formula. No matter, music also has its own formula. You have to hit certain notes, certain thing. Math also, you have formula that you have to solve. Of course, they're two different things, but they're still almost the same because it's kind of a formula.
Yes.
Music.
Everything, I believe we're all born with different gifts, but we can still pick up a lot of things, as we go about life, and I think music was more so my gift, but my dad still was able to teach me these other things, and it's come in handy right now. It's really coming in handy, because even though I don't, I do want to be a teacher, because I do love teaching. I do love taking the time out to invest in people. And I know that mathematics is one of the hardest.
You teach, you say?
I do some volunteer teaching right now, but I want to be a teacher someday.
You want to be a teacher.
Yeah,
so you're studying mathematics, you have music, you volunteer teaching. Now when you say teaching, do you teach younger kids, middle?
Yes, just younger kids, mostly middle and high school kids.
So you do.
And I do some college tutoring too, just for math.
So what is the difference, in those categories, like children, middle, and all? is there a difference, or is it there's a challenge,
Yes.
that, because of age difference?
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
what is your challenge teaching those different levels?
Well, I think for the younger ones, you almost have to be a little more practical as you teach, using like real world examples, things that they can very much relate to, things that interest them. So you have to be a bit more creative when you teach a younger person, which I like that challenge because, even though it can stretch you, but I think it's to your own benefit, and again, the patience to go with it. But at the end of the day, it's just making you a better teacher.
Do you feel good about it when you finish teaching, kids and all? Like, what kind of a feeling do you have? What kind of a rush you have,
I sleep much better at night. Just know that even however long I spent teaching them, it's always a joy to bring a person from a place of no understanding to a much better understanding of a subject. I just like seeing that process take place. And I'm just thankful to God for just being able to give in that way, So being able to just spend time with a young person, and it's more than just teaching them math, it's saying, I believe you can do better, which is something that our young people really need now more than ever. They
do you
need.
think about yourself when you teach those
Yeah.
kids? Does it remind you of you and your dad?
A lot of times.
Do you tell them that? Do you tell those kids, hey?
Every now and then I
every
share
now
that,
and
but
then.
it's somewhere always in the back of my
In the
mind.
back of your mind.
And
you
I
thank your
strongly
dad.
believe he's been a big influence as far as the reason I have a passion for teaching. He would always spend hours and hours teaching me. Sometimes because he's a doctor.
Oh wow.
So he had his own clinic, and a lot of times he would even take me to the clinic with him. So when there weren't patients, and we would just sit down and study together.
Okay. Now that's your teaching, and that's the young people you're teaching on. Now let's get back to music. What kind of a music do you
I do
actually...
gospel music.
Gospel music.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do that? Above all the music, there's pop, there's rock, there's hip hop, there's classical, gospel.
Yeah, and it wasn't always gospel, but I do believe above all things that God deserves credit and praise every single day of my life, and I don't see a better way to praise God than with the very thing that He's gifted me with, which is music.
You sound very spiritual too.
God is good.
God is good. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. You have to believe in the Creator because,
Yes,
He decides.
He does.
From the day you're born till the day you're going to say, bye to this earth, He's written your future every day, what you're going to do, what's going to happen.
Yes. And the sooner you reconcile with Him, the much better it is for you, I mean, the the principles we all want to live and abide by, the vision we have for a better world, all that stuff, it all stems from the Bible. It really all just goes back to really the way God has always intended for us to live,
Now, when you say Bible, sometimes are you challenged with different religions also in your life? Like, there's Muslim, there's Hinduism, there's Zoroastrianism, and then, of course, Christianity.
Yeah.
Sometimes, do you have a challenge about different religions when, when you sit in a group maybe and sometimes you talk?
Yeah.
Is there a challenge?
I do. And I do get into conversations with that. And I do, because there is always something to learn, but more so I think it just really reaffirms my belief in God and His Son, Jesus Christ, because I've just come to understand that really religion, it's not, I think the problem here is religion, There's a difference in religion and having a relationship with God. Those are two different things. Religion is mindless. It's just routine. There's no heart in it. And I don't think that's what God intended for us. God intended for us to have a relationship with Him. And it's very different, It's you just feel so much more alive and in touch with God when you have a relationship, Religion can be a burden. it can be a burden, because if it's just routine, just like any other thing, you eventually burn out. You know, and that's not what God intended for us. He always wanted to have a relationship with us.
That is a very good way of putting things, you know. I mean, I know a lot of people go to church, of course, and all. And do you go to church, or
I do.
what is your...
I do, but I have a better understanding of what a church is.
What is it?
And the church is much more than the building. It's not the building that's the church. It's the body of people within that building. You know, and whether the building is there or not, the building may change, locations may change, but something that should stay consistent is the body of people. Now that's the church. You see, so I just a few years ago, I really, that's when I honestly really started having a relationship with God. That's about 2.5 years ago.
What brought about that? I mean,
just a series of events in life, you know, and I mean, you can only go so long ignoring the voice of God, you know. Now
you do gospel music. Have you done some? Do you do it in churches over here locally?
Yes. I've actually started doing it, and I've also some other outside churches, some other places as well. You know, I've had people invite me to functions I just use it to encourage people, you know, and I see it as just another avenue of ministry, you know, to really, really reach people and encourage people.
So song and your gospel singing, does it give you kind of a, you know, relaxing or a peacefulness in you when you do that? Because you're not only singing, but you're also spreading kind of a message out there in your song. Do you do that?
Oh, I do that, absolutely. I mean, my songs are very much rooted in the Bible. That's what it is. Because I don't view it as just music or writing songs. Like I said, it's an outlet, it's an avenue of ministry, you know, so there has to be a purpose to that. It has to be managed very well. You know, just like any other gift, you have to be a good steward of that. You know, you have to prove faithful with any gift you've been given.
How do you balance all this? Studying, gospel music, teaching. I mean, how do you balance everything?
Well, it's I mean, progressively, I've just discovered things as time is going on, you know. I really did not start writing gospel music up until last year. Now, I wrote songs before, but the industry wasn't something I wanted to be a part of, you know, just what they promote out there. You know, it's the very thing that destroys our society. And I just honestly cannot be a part of that. You know, I can't promote negativity. You know, whether subtle or just blatant, you know, I can't be a part of that.
No.
So I gave up on that years ago. But, you know, after I just come and have a relationship with God, you know, I still love music. And I just decided I was going to start it again. But this time around, I was just going to do it differently.
I hope you're enjoying Goldie's interview with Chido Ezeilo. In case you just tuned in, I'm Sarah Ellsworth Hoffman, and you're watching a brand new show called The Goldie Show. The Goldie Show is a half-hour treat with our host, Goldie, interviewing folks from different walks of life who are making a positive difference in our community. You can see The Goldie Show every Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock. You can connect with The Goldie Show by checking us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, goldieshow.com. Now let's go back to Goldie and her guest, Chido Ezeilo.
Now that you've been here and you go back to your, you know, Nigeria, what do you take back, or what do you, you know, tell your people back home?
Well,
friends.
There's always a lot. They always have a lot of questions, you know. So I think you spend most of the time answering questions and explaining a lot of differences, a lot of things, you know. But home is always home, you know.
That is, I agree with, I'm not going to disagree with him.
Yes.
But, you know, sometimes do they ask you the question is, do you like Nigeria better than America?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a question they always ask.
They always ask, and well, how do you respond? I mean, sometimes, you know, you feel like you're torn apart. Like, what do I say? My country or America? Do you feel like, how will I respond?
I always give them, I mean, just a real picture, which is that there's pros and cons. You know, there is definitely the good aspect of it. You know, I think the exposure most of all. you know, the diversity. That's what I really always wanted. You know, just being able to learn from people from other parts of the world. You know, just see and experience other cultures. So that is definitely a plus. But there again, there's a cost to just being away from home. You know,
Yes.
and there's always that little voice inside just sometimes reminding me not to lose touch with who I am, in the sense of not to lose touch with my father's land, you know.
After you finish your engineering and all, are you still going to pursue your music?
Yeah, I'm actually really just I'm pursuing that right now, really.
So you're passionate.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is awesome.
Yes.
But you're also planning down the road you're going to get married, of course.
Yeah.
Are you planning to marry here or?
I think when the time comes, it will happen like it's supposed to happen.
I know you sing a lot of gospel music and all.
Actually, gospel rap.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do a little bit of singing,
Rap.
but it's mostly gospel rap. Yeah.
Gospel rap.
Yeah.
Now, when you do all this, I know you met John.
Yeah.
And how has John come into the picture of helping you, or how do you help him? Let's put it that way. How do you help each other?
Or maybe how he helps me. John has been a blessing to me. Just
How did you meet him?
A friend of mine introduced me to him. A friend of mine who used to record.
Oh, wow.
With John, so he introduced me to John, and it's been uphill since then.
But you have no background of music at all in you, right?
No.
And you all of a sudden started singing and rapping.
Yes, I mean I always wrote songs, but yeah, John was really just really gave me an opportunity, you know, and John's very good at what he does, you know. So when you have somebody that good working with an average person, they really do bring out the best in you.
So I can sing and he can bring out the best in me.
Oh yeah, no
Oh,
question
boy.
about that. Yeah, he's that good.
Well, that's really good. So do you have your any kind of recordings disc out there or the tapes out there?
I'm currently working on an EP right now, just a seven song.
Have you worked with any
album.
major artists?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But you're hoping?
Yeah, if God wills it. I'm just more I think I'm more concerned with the message.
What you're going to put out there.
Yes, I'm more concerned with the message and getting my message to the right people, you know, because again, it just boils down to making an impact, you know, and I really do just want to make a positive impact on our society today. You know, I mean, it's just it's a dismal world out there right now, and you know, especially our young people, you know, our young people are getting into so many things that they have no business doing. You know, so I just want to encourage them and let them know, hey, there's a different way. You know, you don't have to go that route. You know, and the music they hear out there, the media out there, everything is just, it's just
crazy.
It's crazy, you know, and they internalize that. And whatever you internalize, it's only a matter of time before it comes out. And we see it in the way they interact with people.
When you say rap, I know a lot of rap musics are, a bit. You know where I'm getting at. But your rap is totally a message.
No, it's a message. It's just a ministry. It's like I said, it's just very much rooted in the Bible, you know. And music is something that young people, especially rap music, is something that our young people really, really very much connect to.
Oh, definitely.
You know, so I'm just using that as a platform, as a springboard to connect with our young people, alongside with mentoring and teaching them, you know, but also giving them something that they enjoy, showing them that there can be really good, positive music that you can listen to. It doesn't always have to be negative. The message doesn't always have to be something that's just bad. And that's really part of my plan, is really to draw out our young people, get them engaged, using the music to encourage, whether it be in a Bible study setting, whether it be in schools when I'm teaching them, when we take breaks, and I do it for them to encourage them, you know. But that's what I'm doing right now, until I at least get it going on a larger scale.
So you have taken baby steps.
Yes, I have.
That is good. I mean, Rome was not built in one day.
Exactly.
You know, you do little by little, little by little, and
Exactly.
you never know. One day, someone will be like Chido, and say, hey, someone inspired, like your dad inspired you, you got inspiration from him, now you're inspiring other kids, and those kids can, you know, carry on and make this a better place. That's exactly what you're looking at. Kids, like you said, are getting into things they shouldn't be getting into.
Exactly, and you know, I'm just using my music to just really just give them maybe the message that they find it a bit difficult to sit down and take in. You know, maybe some of them don't want to go to church. You know, so I just bring the Bible to them through the music. So I'm not really preaching Chido. I'm just telling them, hey, God is out there waiting for you, you know? So just turn from your ways and turn towards God.
So they don't have to go to church. You know, that's what he's saying. I'm
not saying they don't have to go to church. I'm just saying some of them right now won't even go to church.
So you take church to them.
Exactly.
Wow, that is awesome.
That's why I say it's just an avenue of ministry. You know, I'm just grateful that God has given me the ability to do it through music. Some people do it in other ways. You know, some people do it through dancing. Some people have a dancing ministry.
Oh yes,
you know?
yes. But a lot of people do a lot of things.
Yes, it takes perspective. You know, perspective is everything.
You know, you seem and sound so calm. You know, do you ever get angry, frustrated?
Really.
But if you do, how do you handle it? You know.
Right now, I just pray, because I know that anger never leads to anything good. It doesn't. When you're angry, you lose control of yourself. Self-control flies out the window. You can say very hurtful things, and a lot of times you say things you can never take back.
That's true.
Words are very
so
destructive.
True.
You know, the tongue is the hardest thing to tame. We tame wild animals, but the tongue, you know.
That's why they say you have to think before you speak.
Exactly. That's why you have 2 ears and one mouth and one tongue.
That's true.
You know?
I never thought about it like that. Well, that's a good point you brought out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing so much, and you're still going to do. What is your goal for future, or what is your message to younger people out there?
Just really, number one is that there's more to life than going down a direction that is just going to wreck you. You know, young people need people to believe in them. You know, I sit down with kids that people have just sectioned off as gone.
Oh wow!
And I sit down with them and I just take the time, because I don't believe there's any bad kid out there.
No.
You know, I don't believe that. I just think we need to take the time. You know, give them hope. You know, most of them grow up around hopelessness. You know, and it's just a product of the environment. You know, but how long are we going to let that go on? You know, the change that I want to see in the world has to start from me. You know, if I want to see a world of hope, I have to be hope for everybody that I come across. You know, if I want to see peace, then I need to embody peace with everybody that I come across. You know, so it's understanding that, and really doing whatever we can to really empower young people. The young is the future. You know, so if we're not taking the time to invest in our young people like we should, then we're just leaving our future to chance.
You are such an inspirational person. You have inspired me, of course. I mean, talking to you, it feels like there is more and more and more that you can give. It looks like you give, but you don't take that much.
It's more blessed to give than to receive.
That is a good thing, because a lot of people, you know, most of the people are really giving, but some give to get.
To get, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But in life, you're right. Sometimes you just have to give.
Just have to give.
Not to think of getting anything back.
Exactly, because, I mean, God gives us every day. You know, He gives us, we wake up in the morning.
It gives you that calmness.
You know, yeah, It gives us a lot of things. You know, we wake up in the morning, you jump off the bed, you have good health. You know, most of us we're able to get somewhere in a vehicle. You know, even if we don't have a vehicle, we're able to walk. You know, it's just so much that we take for granted. And now you think about what you get every day from God. There's no reason why you shouldn't be given to people around you. It's really all about the attitude of gratitude, you know.
I agree with you, you know.
All I usually ask of people and all I tell people is whenever I help people out or spend some time to get somebody out of something dark or a dark place, I just tell them to remember and make sure that you do the same for somebody else, because it's very important. If we pass that on, I mean, the world would be a much better place if we took that philosophy to heart. You know?
And always it's the kids that always get caught in the middle, aren't they?
Always.
You know,
Always.
we grown-ups like,
Yeah,
I'm being honest. I mean,
no,
am
true,
I
true.
telling
You're
you
right.
the truth, right?
You're right.
But the kids are the one. Anything else you have to say to the world? Anything else?
It's just what I always tell people is that God loves you, and just reconcile with God if you don't. It's really important because, like I said, you know, every good thing that we seek and we desire is what God has intended and planned for us. You know, so we just need to, I just tell people, our problem isn't, we're always trying to fix a problem here or there, you know, but what we need to fix is our heart. You know, just turn from ourselves, turn from our selfish ways and turn to God.
Remember, you still have to perform for me.
Oh, yeah.
Your rap, don't forget now, you promised me, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yes,
I do thank you so much to sit here and
Thank
taking
you,
time out to talk to me. It is a great honor, and I feel like I have learned so much from you today, you know. I mean, being from such a different diversity and different, you know, country and coming here, you have taught me and you have inspired me today also, and I do really, really thank you for your time.
Glory to God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I do thank you all out there watching my show today, and like I said, everyday people are worth more than gold. I thank you, and we'll see you next time. Khudafis.
That wraps up this week's edition of The Goldie Show. You won't want to miss next week's show when Goldie will interview Dr. Mahmouda Salou, an entrepreneur and mentor from France. The Goldie Show, where we firmly believe that everyday people are worth more than gold. I'm Sarah Ellsworth Hoffman. See you soon.